and you are listening to Lead to Greatness.
Hello. Welcome to episode number 12 of Lead to Greatness, where we believe in helping others reach their greatest potential, and together we can change the world. Today on Lead to Greatness, we're going to be dealing with living forward. That's what we're going to be discussing on today. If this is your first time, I want you to consider subscribing with us. Be looking for valuable content every Thursday of the month. Also, I want you to rate wherever you're listening, watching. That will mean be so great to us. From episode number 12, Living Forward.
A lot of times in life, if we're not careful, we can find ourselves paying more attention to what's behind us than what's in front of us. We can get so caught up in paying attention to what could have been, what should have been, what would have been, as far as the past, and not focusing on what we have ahead of us. And I think that is where we're missing out, as people. As long as you're living, as long as you're still alive, you have breath in your body, there is so much life ahead of you, so that you should focus on living forward so that you can be your best self, so that you can be everything that God intended for you to be, so that you can produce everything that he put you on this earth to produce.
Yeah, but let's think about this. I mean, the fact of living forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we really want to be honest about this thing, I mean, it's not an easy task to do. It's not something you can just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to press forward. I'm gonna move forward. I'm going to do something different. So, with that being said, why do you think we struggle as people of moving forward?
We have allowed what has already happened in life to cause us to be stuck, to cause us to be stagnated. Sometimes it could be a job, it could be a relationship, a friendship, or whatever. You feel like you've already invested so much that it's hard to think about moving forward. If you've been on a job for 15 years and now you're feeling, that God is calling you to start a business, or if that job has let you go, now you like, what do I do? I'm 50 years old, I'm 45 years old, I'm 52, I'm 60. What do I do? And so the fact that we have lived in the current situation for so long, or we've invested so much into it, it can be hard for us to want to move forward or live forward.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because definitely, I mean, you just think about somebody, let's say somebody was trying to start a business.
Right.
Trying to start a business, and the first time they did it, it may not have did well. It didn't work out. They didn't have the capital to build. So now another opportunity has come to start a business, and now they're afraid and they don't want to do it because it's so easy to think about the past and what happened already, what happened prior. And one thing I do know about the way we think, it's just the way the brain works. That every decision we make in today is based on yesterday. So basically, everything that we do is based on the fact of what we've been through. And I think about that. I think about the way we think as individuals, the way our mind works, the decisions we make in the day, the relationship we in. If you're in a new relationship, that relationship is still affected by the relationship you came out of.
Yeah,
I mean, there can be certain things that happen, little small things that happen. Somebody going to the store and you think they're cheating because of what happened in the previous relationship. Or, on the job, the supervisor, it may not be paying you any attention. And now in your mind, you're about to get fired. And you're telling your own self you're about to get fired based on something that happened prior, and you don't trust nobody. You don't let people get close to you. You have a wall up in your heart, and you won't let anybody in. And I think those are some of the difficult things that we can hold on to that really hurt us as far as moving forward.
Absolutely. Past experiences, past letdowns, past disappointments, past trauma, past broken promises, past I gave my best at the last job and they looked over me for the promotion. I was there on time. I gave my all. I gave them weekend after weekend. They looked over me. So, now you're on the next job and it's like, I'm not going to do that much because of what happened. So the past is definitely something that can keep us bound and keep us from moving forward, or even the idea of what we thought the past was going to be. what we thought. Well, I thought I would be further than this by now. I thought this, and that. It keeps you from moving forward because you're so focused on what you haven't done that you can't even see the possibility of what you could do. You're so focused on what hasn't happened for you that you can't even see the possibility of what's still ahead of you that could happen.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, just think about it. I mean, it can really, let's say you got a new job, but on this new job, you're still referring to things that happened on your old job. And using what you just said, you get on the new job and you're not really putting in the effort. You have 100%, but you're giving about 60 because of what happened to you on the last job. And now here you are on the new job. And now the same thing that happened on the old job is beginning to happen on the new job because you're acting the same way on the new job than you acted on the last job. So now, since you're acting the same, you're getting the same exact results that you gave. Why? Because there's something in your mind didn't change. There's something in your mind didn't change that didn't allow you to move forward from the situation that you're in. So moving forward is very, very, very important. It's very crucial. A lot of times things that happen in our past, in our childhood, because we haven't moved forward from that, from whatever happened. Now here we are 20, 30, 40 years old. This generational curse still haven't broken, and you're 60 years old and doing to your child and your child doing to your grandchildren what your mom did to you. Really deep down inside, you stuck in the past.
Right.
You still stuck in the 70s. You're stuck in the 60s. You're stuck in the 80s. You stuck about what somebody said about you. They done validated who you are. And since they validated who you are, now you're being controlled by what happened in the first grade. In your present state, you can't accomplish your full potential in your present state.
So we could be producing the very thing that we dislike because of where we've been and what has happened to us. I remember, I think it was a sermon series you did years ago called Life in the Rearview. And the thing about living forward is sometimes as people, we are living our life focused on what's in the rear view mirror of our lives, focused on the fact that he walked away and I had to raise these kids by myself, focused on the fact that I wasn't able to finish school because I had this child, and I wasn't able to do this because of you. If I wouldn't have never did this or never did that, if I wouldn't did this or did that, all of that is holding you in a place that keeps you from living forward because you can't even see past what has already happened. You just keep reliving it over and over and over. There's one of your favorite movies, Groundhog Day, and I think about that mentally. I
love that movie.
Yeah, mentally, some of us are like that. We keep reliving past mistakes over and over and over. But today, as we discuss living forward, it is my hope and my desire that someone listening to this Lead to Greatness podcast would find everything they need to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and say, you know what? Today is the day that I make the decision to move forward. Today is the day that I decide to live forward, because living forward is doing more than just the action of moving. It's continual. Because you live every day. So every day I'm choosing to keep moving forward. Every day I'm choosing to keep doing this. It's an action, and it's never ending because it's saying living with the ing, meaning that it's continual. So that's the hope for today. And I think that the problem that we've laid the foundation for where the problem starts. The problem starts because oftentimes we're stuck in the past.
The problem starts in the past.
Yeah.
It starts in the past, and a lot of times we're living our past right now. We're living our past right now. We can't even have a great relationship with our children because we're living the past of what we dealt with as a child. The parents, don't get mad at me. Don't get upset at me. But I've oftentimes I see parents, you'll go to a baseball, football game, and I see mom or dad, if mom was a cheerleader, now she's trying
to be a cheerleader.
Yeah, and now but she's living it
living
out.
through her child.
Dad
living
wasn't
vicariously through your
Dad
kids.
wasn't that good in football, and now he's working his child to death. Child don't even like football, and just working them to death. I'm not saying don't push them toward the work, but we have to make sure, we have to understand our motive and making sure we're not doing it for the wrong reason. Okay, I'm doing this because I'm trying to live my life through my child. And now your child have to carry not only their own weight, but they have to carry the weight of their parents.
The weight
And I
of your
think you're
trauma.
doing your children a disservice when you do that. So please don't be mad at me. I just had to say that. God bless
Amen.
you. Amen. Let him bless you real good.
Amen.
All
Amen.
right.
And it's true because we have to be careful of that. Wherever there's sometimes, as parents, wherever we didn't succeed or wherever we felt like we fell short, then we're pushing our children to do something that we felt like we didn't do, or to accomplish something we felt like we didn't accomplish, or even if we did accomplish it. So maybe you were the star football player, but that's as far as it went. You were the high school star and that's it. So now you're pushing your son to be in the NFL and he don't even like football. He want to be an artist. And you telling him that's boys ain't supposed to do this. Or maybe your daughter wants to do something different than what you want to do, and you want her to be the homecoming queen and the cheerleader and the cosmetology student because that's what you did. And you thinking that you want her to even be better than you are. And there's nothing wrong with us as parents wanting our kids to be better, but we want to make sure that we're not allowing our past to control where our kids are going, because then they can't even live forward because they stuck in our past and they can't even move forward.
Wow. In our past. So now you have children that was born in 2000.
Yes, in the 90s, in 2000s, and they living in the past.
They living in the
issues
60s.
of 1985, the issues of 1962. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So wow. So folks, this is why living forward is very important. All right, since we talked about some of the things that living forward, different things that it can cause you to endure in your life. We got 3 C's for you living forward. So the first C is what?
Clarify.
Let's
clarify.
Okay, explain that.
We want you to clarify what adds value. Clarify what adds value to you. Value is anything of importance. Value to yourself is anything that makes you better. Value to you is anything that makes you stronger, anything that increases your wisdom, anything that increases you as a person, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Anything that makes you better is something that adds value to you. So you want to clarify. To clarify means to pinpoint. To pinpoint what adds value to you. Pinpoint who adds value to you. Pinpoint the things that add value to you. Pinpoint things around you that add value to you, things that make you better.
And you think about it, clarity enforces you to focus. I mean, how can you focus without clarity?
Right.
You can't focus without clarity.
You have to know what the target is in order to hit it.
Yeah. I mean, when your clarity increase, your brain power increase.
Absolutely.
Because now I can make the right decision. Now I can do the right thing because now I have brought clarity to it. And since I brought clarity to it, then I can make the right decision in my life. Clear perspective.
Yeah. It removes all the fog. It removes focusing. It moves out all the voices. The voices of what he said, what she said, what they believe, what they think. Clarifying allows you to focus on what matters to you, what adds value to you, what increases you.
Yeah. I wish I knew who wrote this quote. This is a great quote. It says, make your clarity so clear that your fear becomes irrelevant. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to read that again. Yeah. Make your clarity so clear that your fear becomes irrelevant. Wow. Let's unpack that real quick.
What you see is so clear that your fear is irrelevant. You are now so clear about what adds value to you that you're not even afraid to step out and do it anymore. Yeah. You're so clear at what will make you better that the thought of it not working doesn't even exist.
Wow.
You're so clear at what would increase you, who increases you, that the idea that they might hurt me is not even there anymore. All of that, the fear of I may not make, I want to start the business, but it may fail. All of that is gone because you're so clear that this business has a purpose. You're so clear that God has called you to do this. You're so clear that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, that even the idea of it failing no longer exists.
Think about it. When you have clarity, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you do.
I think a lot of times we get into bad relationships because we don't have clarity. You don't have clarity on what you want. You don't have clarity at all. I think we get into the wrong job fields
Yep.
because we don't have
Yep.
we don't have
Don't
clarity.
have clarity.
I think we have failed business because we don't have clarity. You have to have clarity in order to do anything, because
Absolutely.
I have to have clarity. Okay, what if I'm starting a business, what problem am I trying to solve? And once I solve the problem, who are the people that has the problem?
Need the solution.
So you have to have the clarity so you'll know exactly what you need to do. You can't sell jawbreakers if you're dealing with seniors,
right?
Because they don't have teeth.
In the senior citizen gift shop, we're not gonna sell a jawbreaker.
Exactly. I mean, you want to have some soft candy. You want to have some gummy worms or something.
Yeah. Just like we're not gonna sell steak at the daycare. We're not gonna sell steak at the carnival for the kids.
Exactly.
Because kids don't want steak. They want nachos and popcorn and stuff like that.
Exactly. Can you imagine that, going to a
steak and gravy at the county fair?
Right. It doesn't make sense.
No.
And that's the thing. They have clarity and they know who's going to be there. They know the family. They know the fun. They know the cotton candy because kids love it. They know all the things kids love. If they sold steak, they wouldn't make that much money, Yeah. So the first thing living forward is
clarify what adds value.
All right. Clarify what adds value. Okay. So what's number 2? What's the second thing?
Number two is create an atmosphere for growth.
Okay.
Create an atmosphere for growth.
Create an atmosphere
you
for growth.
have to create an atmosphere. To create means to cause something to happen. So you have to cause an atmosphere around you that is for growth, for you to be better, for you to advance, for you to increase, for you to become your best self, for you to be able to move forward. You want to create an atmosphere of growth, create an atmosphere for growth. I saw a quote and I thought this quote was very interesting. It said, never put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket.
Wow.
Never put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. In order for you to grow, we already talked about clarifying what it is that adds value to you. And in order for you to have an atmosphere of growth, you have to decide what is best for you. You have to decide who is best for me, what places are best for me, what things are best for me to do. You can't be in a place where we just Netflix and chill all day, but you want to be a business owner and you're wanting to grow as an entrepreneur. No, you have to create an atmosphere where you're surrounded with other entrepreneurs. You have to create an atmosphere where you're learning to grow your craft. You have to create, whatever it is you want to do. If whatever it is, you want to make jewelry, you want to make pies, make cakes, whatever it is you want to sell, you should be focusing, creating an atmosphere that causes you to grow, to learn what's the best baking techniques, what's the best tying techniques for your jewelry, what's the best techniques for whatever it is that you want to do. Create an atmosphere of growth. One thing I thought about when we were discussing this earlier and talking about growth and creating is that in order, looking at who we are and where we are today mentally, and as far as the things that we've learned, we had to create an atmosphere of growth. We began to purchase books. We began to listen to podcasts similar to this. We began to follow other people on social media and things that we're doing, like things that we wanted to do. We began to read books on being better. We began to, everything became very select. We became very selective about everything because you wanted to, it's like, I think of it like soil. When you want this plant to grow, you want to put it in the best soil. And putting it in that best soil, I always buy the Miracle Grow soil from Home Depot.
Cheater.
But I'm putting, because I think that's the best soil because it grows. So I'm going to put it in the best soil. I'm not going to just dig up the dirt that's in the backyard and put my new flowers in it. I'm going to put some good soil down there for it to grab hold to. And to me, that's what creating the atmosphere of growth is for you. You have to think of it in your own way. For you, you're taking the best soil and planting yourself in it. That means you want to be around people that are growing, people that push you to grow, people that encourage you to grow, people that want to grow with you, and people that's not saying, it don't take outlet. You don't have to do it. Girl, you all right. You already got a good job. You cool.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm thinking about that. Just picking up, putting yourself in
the best soil.
In the best soil. So you put yourself in the best soil. I mean, you put yourself in the best environment.
Atmosphere.
The next thing is your location. You have to, because you have to know who you are. That some people can't get too much sun.
That's right.
There's certain plants can't get too much sun. Some plants is partial sun. Certain some plants is full sun.
Yes.
So you have to have the clarity going backwards. You have to have the clarity
of what you need.
Of what
exactly.
you need.
Exactly.
Then you know where you need to be. Where you need to be located.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because some people, they are planting themselves in dark situations. And you plant yourself in dark situations, and you know the scripture I read talks about we are the light, you know, but you surround around all this darkness, you're not gonna feel your best self because you're in a dark place.
Absolutely.
In a dark place, you place your own self. You place yourself in the situation because you did not create the right environment.
Right.
And another thing is not only putting yourself in the right soil, putting yourself in the right position, but another thing is who's watering you.
You gotta feed you when you're talking.
Who's feeding you? Go ahead.
You're talking, and I'm thinking about plants, but I'm thinking about people. So I'm thinking about ourselves, because the plant, we want to put it in the right soil. So we're gonna if we know that this plant is going to grow to 10 inches round, we're going to put it in a pot big enough to handle the roots for that. Then if we know that this plant needs full sunlight, we're going to put it where it has full sunlight, because if I take a plant that needs full sunlight and put it in a dark situation, if I put it in my office that doesn't have a window and doesn't have lights, that plant is not going to thrive. It may not even survive. It's going to shrivel up. And even if you see a little bit of flowers on it, it's never going to bloom to its full capacity because it's not in the right situation.
Reaching your greatest potential.
Right. So what we have to think about as people is if we put ourselves or allow ourselves to be put in a place where we should not be, or we're not creating an atmosphere of growth, we're in an atmosphere that is causing us to shrivel up, then the only thing that's going to happen is we may not reach our full potential, and we're going to be miserable, or we're going to shrivel up and die. Where you're just a walking dead man, a walking dead woman, because your full potential is never going to be reached, because you're supposed to be in full sunlight, but you're hidden in a corner in a room with no windows at all. And that's not something that you want to do. If you need to be in full sunlight, you need to create an atmosphere where you're always in sunlight.
Is it safe to say create an atmosphere that allow yourself to bloom?
Yeah, to bloom. We can change grow to bloom, because that's definitely what you want to do. Because you don't, you can. We had a plant that grew, but it didn't grow to its full potential. You remember? So you had this one side it had a couple of flowers on it, but it never did what it was supposed to do. And then we had one on the other side of the patio that was in full sunlight, and it was green, growing all down, flowers blooming everywhere, falling everywhere. Two of the very same plant.
Same plant, same backyard.
Yeah, same backyard, different location.
Different location.
And they
getting the same water.
The same nourishment.
I mean, we didn't neglect one.
No. And one shrivels while the other one blooms. Yeah. So yes, we definitely should say that. Create an atmosphere where you bloom. Not just an atmosphere, because the plant that did not that's not going to its full potential, it's still hanging on. It's still got green leaves. They kind of curved up, and it's got little the little red beads are there, but they're not opening up. No. Yeah, so that's it.
Oh, I love it, because that's the truth. Yeah, I mean, this plant. I mean, and the plant we're talking about is outside in the right backyard now. This thing right now. I mean, you got one just blooming, and one of them, you got it's like it want to do it, but for the last week, it haven't bloomed yet. It haven't bloomed yet. It's not blooming. It's not. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm gonna tell you. I don't know what's wrong with it. I haven't did my full investigation on it. But you know what? What I want you to do is do your full investigation on your life. One more thing. We're taking this plant thing, and I love it. Okay. One more thing about plants is certain plants have to be spaced a certain amount of distance apart.
Away. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you need your space. Sometimes you
Oh.
need your space.
Sometimes you need the space.
Sometimes you gotta distance yourself from people, places, things, circumstance.
Drama.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta distance yourself. I'm sure there's someone who's watching, who's listening, and you have decided that you've decided that you want to live forward, and you've decided it multiple times over and over again, and you found yourself right back in the same position you were in the year before or 5 years ago. You found yourself back in the same situation over and over, and you decided, I'm going to live forward. I'm going back to school. I'm going to live forward. I'm starting that business. I'm going to live forward. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to live forward. I'm going to go after learning how to do whatever it is. And somebody, because you were not positioned in the right location, you were not in the right soil, somebody talked you out of doing what was best for you.
Okay, this is what you was about to do. You was about to go to that third point. So you was about to go to that third point. I was about to go there with you. But let's do a recap.
Okay.
First, second, and then we'll get
so
the third.
First you have to clarify what adds value. Second, you have to create an atmosphere. We said for growth, but we changed it to an atmosphere where you can bloom. Okay. Then third, you have to commit to pushing forward.
Commit. Come on.
You have to commit that no matter what anybody else says, I'm living forward.
Yes.
No matter what anyone else does, I'm living forward. No matter what didn't go right the last time I tried to start a business, I'm living forward.
Yes.
No matter what didn't go right the last time I decided to go back to school, I'm living forward. I was going to the beauty academy last time and it didn't work out. They denied my financial aid, whatever it is. Oh, they didn't give me the promotion last year. I'm living forward. I'm going to push forward. I'm committing. Committing means that you are making a declaration. It means that you have decided to make a pledge that I am going to carry this out. Whatever this is, starting a business, going back to school, bettering yourself, taking care of yourself, exercising, whatever it is, reading more, getting in your word, I'm going back to church, whatever it is, you are now deciding that I'm committing to it, which means I'm making a pledge. We know what a pledge is. A pledge is me giving my heart to something. It's me giving my mind to something. It's me committing to the fact that I'm going to keep pushing forward.
And listen, you can't be like LL Cool J. See, LL Cool J say, I'm going back to Cali. And then after he got done, he said, no, I don't think so. You got to be committed. You have to do it.
Yeah, you have to. And you have to decide. I think that once you clarify what adds value and you create an atmosphere for you to bloom, once you start blooming, you have no choice but to commit to move forward because eventually you won't fit in that pot anymore. Eventually you won't fit in wherever you have been planted. You're going to have to move to another location that allows you to bloom further. So you're going to have to commit to pushing forward. Whatever it is, commit to it because you deserve it. Because you deserve to have everything, every good and perfect gift that God has promised you, every all the purpose He has for your life, everything that you desire to be better, you deserve it.
Thy kingdom come. Thy
kingdom.
Listen to this. If you're not committed, you get distracted. It's easily to get distracted if you're not committed. Because here it is, and I'm guilty of this. And if you're okay with admitting you're guilty of it too. We struggle with committing to better eating habits. We struggle to that. You know, because short term we're committed to it, but long term we fall by the wayside some kind of way. So listen to me. Commitment is not a sprint. Commitment is a marathon.
Wow.
It's long term. It is not short term. It's something you have to keep pushing. We can all do a sprint real quick, but a marathon. I'm talking from long distance.
To be able to maintain
at a long distance. Commitment, moving forward, running towards it. and making it happen.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to each and every one of us. Listen to me. You owe it to yourself to push forward. You owe it to yourself to push forward. You've come this far, no matter how bad it hurt before, no matter how it didn't work out before, no matter what you didn't get before, no matter who passed you over before, no matter who said you are not good enough, you were not good enough, whatever it is, you don't deserve it, whatever. I am telling you that none of that matters. When we are talking about living forward, earlier I said that you did a sermon series entitled Living in Rearview. And I want to encourage you who are listening, you are still living today because you're listening to me. Do not live the rest of your life in the rearview mirror. It doesn't matter what didn't happen last year. It doesn't matter what didn't happen last week, last month, or 10 years ago. It doesn't matter who walked away, who said you couldn't, how many times you've given up, how many times you failed before. None of that matters. Commit today to pushing forward. Tell yourself that you deserve today. That's it. Tell yourself today that you deserve to live forward. You deserve living forward is going for your best life every day. Living forward is going towards being the best you every day. You had a quote on your social media a couple of days ago that said, it's not about being the best, but it's about being better today than you were yesterday. That's what living forward means. Living forward means today is Wednesday. It doesn't matter what I have not done before this. Tomorrow, when God allows you to wake up in the morning with breath in your body, the activities of your limb, I'm pushing forward. I said I was going to start the business. I fell off a little bit, but let me get back to working on my business plan. I said I was going to start working out. I'm going to go walk the track. I said I was going to, whatever it is, we're getting back in the eyes that I'm going to commit to pushing forward.
And if an obstacle get in your way, don't trip. Don't trip. Step over it. Step over it. You have the power to high step. Don't allow it to be your stumbling block, but allow it to be your stepping stone.
So don't allow your obstacles to be your stumbling block. Allow them to be your stepping stone. In Living Forward, we had 3 C's that we wanted to share today. And number 1 was clarify. Clarify what adds value. Clarify the things that add value to your life. Clarify the people that add value to your life. Clarify the circumstance and situations that add value to your life. Clarify the things that add value to you. Point number 2 was to create. Create an atmosphere for growth. Create an atmosphere where you can bloom. Create an atmosphere where you can increase. Create an atmosphere where you can be better. Create an atmosphere where you can live your best life. Number 3 was commit to push forward. Commit to keep going. Commit to not stopping. Commit to doing what they used to tell us when we were kids and we fell off our bikes. Get up and try it again. Commit to pushing forward. Those were the 3 C's that we shared on today. This is the 3 things that we are sharing with you. 3 C's that we hope will bless your life today and help you, assist you as you go towards your greatest potential and live forward. Living forward is a continuation of living your best life each and every day. Each and every day. Forgetting the things that are behind you and pressing forward towards the mark. Pressing forward to what's ahead of you. Pressing forward to what could be. Pressing forward to all possibilities, because listen, all things are possible for you. As long as you keep moving, as long as you keep pressing towards them, you will finish. You'll reach the goal. If you keep getting up and trying it again, you'll find yourself in a better place next year, next month, next week than you were the week before, the month before, the year before. If you keep pushing forward, if you keep getting up and trying it again, you will succeed. You will succeed. I also admonish you, read autobiographies, read biographies of people that failed They had situations that didn't go right. They failure after failure, or things went wrong and things went wrong, but they kept pushing. They kept trying. They invested in themselves. They invested in what they believed in. They gave their time. They gave their talent. They gave everything they had to keep pushing forward. And that's why we have the Oprah Winfrey's of today. That's why we have the Tyler Perry's of today. That's why we have the Kevin Harts and the Will Smiths and everybody else, because they kept pushing forward.
Once again, I'd like to thank you, Lead to Greatness Nation, for joining us on today. Looking forward to seeing you again on next week. Till then, if you help others reach their greatest potential, together we can change the world. Peace. We out.